Okay, it looks like I am live. Good evening, good morning, good late night, whatever it is, whatever time it is, where you are in the world, or when you discover this stream. Hope you're having a decent time. As is typical when I plan these things didn't go as planned, and I did not prepare quite as effectively as I would have liked. I mean, my dinner is even still sitting here for everybody to see because I was just shoving food in my face while I was finishing up the last touches. So what I am going to talk about in this particular stream is a Austrian artist. I think he said he was a Hungarian, or maybe he's a Hungarian. I'll refresh my memory on exactly who Franz von Byros is as I talk about him. Basically, as I've said in previous streams, I spent way too much time the other day poking around the website of the Museum of Applied Arts in Budapest, and I discovered artists I've never heard of before. I discovered this kind of a school of art that I'd never heard of before, or if I had, I'd forgotten that it existed. It's been so long since I took any art history classes or read any books about turn of the 19th, 20th century art and artists. And let me first get this up here. Hey Cap, yes, that is where I was finding these guys, was at the Museum of Applied Art in Budapest. In fact, some of these guys I already were aware of. I just didn't realize that they were doing a particular school of art. Oh my God, Aubrey something. I forget his name right now, but that's one who I've been aware of, and a couple others. I just didn't know that they were part of a sort of illustrative movement. So let's see, I'm going to get this up here, then I can continue with my blather. Let's see, there we go. Window. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's not giving me the, Wow, I'm more ill-prepared than I thought. I'm having tech issues. Well, I'll be damned. Well, let's see if I can fix whatever the heck is going on. Let's try that. Don't mind me while I tech. And I hope you're having a good evening, Cap. All right, here we go. There. And I don't know if this is sharing or not, since I now can't see anything. Oh, yep, it's working. All right, so there is the man of the hour, and one of his pictures that is, or the subject of the evening, that is Franz von Bayros and one of his drawings. And I'm going to be pretty much just going through a bunch of his drawings. We're going to start with the tame ones, and then I'm going to get stranger and stranger as we go. I don't know how far I'm going to get in them tonight, since the guy drew over 2,000 drawings in this particular school, and I've got about 200 that I consider to be the best ones. But anyhow, and he was Austrian. I just kind of pulled up the notes that I had. So he was born May 28, 1866. And he was an Austrian illustrator and commercial artist and a painter. His lasting contribution to culture and society was Tales at the Dressing Room Table portfolio. He was one of the biggest figures in the Decadent Movement in art and illustration that came into existence in the late 1800s and petered out shortly before World War I. Let's see, he was born in what is today Croatia, and at the age of 17, he entered into the Vienna Academy. He mixed in high society. He was friends of Johann Strauss II, and he married actually Johann Strauss's stepdaughter, and then moved to Germany. 1904 is when he first came to the public eye. That's when he had his first exhibition in Munich. Was very well received by critics. And then from 1904 to 1908, he traveled around Europe, spent time in Paris, basically improving his craft and just generally studying. And in 1911, that's when he made Tales from the Dressing Table, which had a bunch of, well, as you'll see, he likes drawing women wearing few clothing, very little clothing, and engaging in various acts, and those got him actually arrested. He got arrested and exiled from Germany in 1911 after he published his portfolio, Tales from the Dressing Table. And then he went back to Austria, and with World War I, he started going downhill mentally and physically as World War I was going on. He felt isolated in Austria, couldn't go back to Germany. And he died in 1924 from a cerebral hemorrhage. So that is the guy. That is the artist. That is the artist whose work we'll be looking at tonight. And let me, what did I just do there? Thankfully, nothing that you guys could see. So let's see. All right. So, okay. So yeah, now I'm going to start pulling up his art. We're going to start with the more kind of traditional and tame pieces, and then go more and more risque, if you will. So people who think that they might be offended by nudity or I don't think we'll get to sexual activity, because I don't think I have that much time tonight. But it will get mature in nature as the drawings progress. Most of the ones that I'm using are from the period around 1909 to 1912, somewhere in there. And they're all, well, 99% of them were found at the Museum of Applied Arts, and 99% of them were ex-libris illustrations, specially commissioned by rich people for their book collections, some of which probably had heirs and younger children going, "Grandpa, why is this in half of your books?" Oh, hey, Carrie. Welcome. This is just me blathering on about illustrations and showing them off. And not my illustrations, as the title suggests. It is Franz von Byros' illustrations. All right. Oh, and I guess if somebody wants to come up and comment or talk or whatever, or if there's something that you want to share with the world that may or may not relate to the topic, here is the link. And it's shared. And it's pinned, I think. All right. So now, see if I can get the next drawing up there. One of these days, I actually will prepare a slideshow, since that seems to be an option. This is not one of those days, because once again, I ran out of time. I got out of work a little late, just because I was gossiping with one of my coworkers. And then, of course, teching never goes well for me. All right, so first I gotta do this to make it work. Yes, and then I gotta do, that's weird. Okay, well, I guess that'll do the trick. Okay. All right, well, that's kind of backwards from the way it's usually set up, but I'll take it. So I accidentally shared the entire screen instead of just the window, but anyhow, you get to see icons at the bottom. Congratulations. So anyhow, this is one of his illustrations. And something else I haven't had a chance to do, which I will be doing, is cleaning up the scans, sort of making them uniform in appearance, and probably putting out a little collection of his illustrations, so people can recycle them into their own products. But have to clean them up first, and kind of refocus them. But anyhow, this is stop it. This is one of the illustrations that. So we have a religious figure, and we have a soldier of some sort. Again, I do not know any of the history behind these illustrations. I just pulled them because I liked them. And so, but yeah, this is from circa 1910, 1911. So right around the time war was starting. Let's zoom it back out. And here is one of his many ladies. This one is fully clothed, even though it looks like the dress is kind of falling off. And she's got the big hat from the period. And got some pictures in behind. This is some sort of, again, it's commercial illustration. It might be for a portfolio. Not entirely sure what he did it for, but it's a standalone drawing. And you've got some of his art there in the background. Let's see. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. All right, let me fix what's going on there. And Philatelic Week, I was researching what we talked about the other night, stamp collecting, to continue the gag with that. But I just realized I probably should talk a little bit about what the Decadent Movement was. Although, again, these are not very decadent. These are, in fact, pretty much turn of the century illustrations, very straight-laced. This one actually dates from the first half of that decade, so 1904, 1905, somewhere in there. It is one of his commissioned book plates. Just has it's a very nice drawing of a lady playing the violin. Zoom in here so we can get a better look at it. And so there's a sunrise. She's playing the violin. Just pretty typical, what you would assume. And all right, now I can see what's going on again, which I couldn't. Is she holding a pool cue? Oh, the other lady? No, actually, it's an umbrella, I think. Or it's a hook of some sort, because if you go zoom in, maybe it's a shepherd's crook, I don't know. But so here you have, and then she has it behind her, and I think this is the other part of it. So I'm not quite sure what it is. Could be a pool cue, but I don't think so. Looks more like a hook of some sort. But I actually hadn't noticed. I had not noticed this little bit. That's something else about a crook. Yep. Thank you, Cap. That was what I was looking for. One thing about the school of decadent art is everything is hyper detailed. So we've got all sorts of details in the dress here. I mean, far more than you would expect. Even the frames of these paintings back here, he's got elaborate details. So, yeah, I should probably just comment on that now. Where did I put the thing? I am super well prepared, as you can tell. Oh, there we go. There it is. What is showing up on the screen? Okay. Just move things around a bit so I can, yes, actually, that's one thing about this artist. Pretty much everything that he drew is highly idealized and beautiful. And aside from just some sketches that are mixed in here, they're either unfinished or they just didn't have them at the museum or they're not scanned yet. Just everything is gorgeous and full of details. But that decadent movement, it's started in the late 19th century. It was both art and in literature, centered mostly in Paris and the German-speaking countries. Basically, they returned to the sort of Grecian roots of what, of fantasy, basically. So I think maybe you can trace probably the origin of modern day fantasy fiction and art back to this particular school of art. Is Montesquieu one of the guys that Chilito likes to talk about? I think so. He's the one that he keeps getting wrong, I think. Maybe, I don't remember, but Montesquieu sort of started a little bit of this. He was talking about the fall of the Roman Empire and its decadence, and then from there it moved on to, I should look this up. Let me get these notes up here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, just a very minor player that just kind of the concept of just runaway human imagination and fantasies, be they about creatures or weird things in the sky or of a sexual nature. Fantasy and hedonism is to be elevated and celebrated over logic and the scientific and natural world around us. So the imagination is really what matters. Let's see if I'm actually doing that right here. Movement is characterized by a belief in the superiority of human fantasy and imagination and aesthetic hedonism that should be celebrated over logic and the natural world and reality, basically. Let's see. Let me just I'll call up Wikipedia, because Wikipedia, that is the ultimate source, right? And since that's about, let's see. So it started in France with writers that were being very florid and elaborate, and their writings, and also going back to ancient mythologies. 1884 actually is when the term was fully coined, and let's see, blah blah. Let's see. So anyhow, it's fantasy art. And however you want to look at that is what the decadent art school is about. On art, Oscar Wilde, he came up with some descriptions of how art relates to this school of thought. He made a list of his basic ideas. 1, art never expresses anything but itself. 2, all bad art comes from returning to life and nature and elevating them into ideals, which is kind of interesting when you look at some of the drawings by this gentleman here, by Franz. I'm not going to butcher his name, so I'll just call him Franz, or Franz, yeah. And 3, life imitates art far more than art imitates life. Yeah, we can just look here at YouTube. And the fantasies people spin about themselves and then apparently buy into. Let's see. Aubrey Beardsley, that was the name I was trying to remember earlier. And he's mentioned here on the Wikipedia page. Blah blah. United States. The Decadent Movement did not do well in the United States. In fact, one of the few poets that did well in the U.S. in this particular movement wrote in 1907. Actually, let's see if this is the one. No, forget what I just said there. So, hey, I'd edit that out if I wasn't live, because I thought there was a quote about how it would never catch on in the United States because of the puritanical roots of U.S. culture and it does say those, and Wikipedia says that those connected struggle to find an audience. But this one particular George Sylvester Vyrek did quite well, apparently. Although I'm not familiar with his work, I'll be honest, because this all died out, as I said, at the coming of with World War I. See if they saved where it declined here in the Wikipedia page. we should go on with the art because I'm sure this is, you guys, I should put a link to this if people really want to get people really want to get to if people really want knowledge. I'm just trying to, be educational. So we looked at the lady with the violin. Let me see what you guys can see more or less so I can watch the side chat if somebody. Speaking of side chats, did I see somebody else say hello and I missed them? Let me just make sure. No, I didn't. Okay. Okay. And here, again, it's all about fantasy, right? And here we have an artist showing his artwork to this lady. And she's kind of falling out of her dress, just like the other one was. See, we got. Oh, and this is an ex-libris illustration. So it was commissioned by someone with the last name of Harnash. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's again hyper detailed. I mean, the guy's coat has all kinds of details on it. The sleeves, her dress, their hair. I mean, here, look at this even. I first thought that was just a stain on the drawing because these are taken out of the book. But I mean, scanned from the inside of a book cover, which is why it's yellow like this. You can see the light, so we got the light here that they are seeing through. And we can see the hint of something darker on the other side of this page. The level of details that they put in here are just amazing. Over medicated. Are you sick, Cap? So again, just the level of detail. I mean, even the guy's socks or stockings, I guess. And it's even more kind of somewhat mind-boggling when you think of that these illustrations were maybe 3 by 4 inches. When they were in the inside of the book covers. So all this detail. Okay, candles aren't lit over here. Well, maybe they are, but we just can't. Maybe they're not lit. I don't know. But anyhow, this page here I thought was very impressive. These even has an outline of whatever is on the other side. All right, next we have another ex-libris drawing, which again is just with this probably I really should have made note of that, Cap, and I did not. I will find out though. These are the versions that appeared in they were put in people's books. And again, it's been way too long since I've taken any history classes or even thought about what symbolism is. But you got a dove here, I think. That's peace, obviously. He wants to crown her. He's a musician. I mean, this is obviously what's his name, Cupid. Even I can, recognize that. But some of these elements probably had meaning for the person who commissioned this. And again, details, got her gown folding, his sleeves are folding like crazy. And yeah, I think there might be actually ink and chalk that's been printed, but I'd have to double check that. I know it was done on paper. That's really all I think that's the only thing that they tell. All right, back up. I think the vast majority of these illustrations, all that they noted on the museum's website was that the medium was paper. So it could be pencil, could be chalk, could be ink, and then this is just a printing process. No idea. But again, super detailed. I mean, even to the point where this guy, again, being that this was done for someone either in Hungary or Austria, he's even got the kind of patterns that you would expect a sort of a gypsy fiddler to have on his clothing. And yeah, there's sometimes where, you know, if the face looks realistic, then I go, okay, that's got to be a portrait of somebody. But most of his faces seem like they could be portraits of somebody. So I think everything is just hyper detailed. But yeah, this here, you know, it's probably what is that called? A halo behind her head. So it's probably a symbol for someone, a goddess of some sort. And but the cape here, again, just the level of detail is mind blowing. And this is definitely a drawing where the person that commissioned it, probably all this has meaning. It was for the library of Emma Stiegleder. My German is also completely terrible now. And so there's this lady in a very elaborate, fancy dress with a giant hat and her two little children. And there's some Latin quote there. There's even writing on one of these pages here. It's upside down and in German, but yeah. If people actually wore hats like that, that must have been a real pain in the butt. These dresses must have been a pain in the butt too. But it could be like some of the art that gets drawn today, or some of the clothes that get worn at fashion shows. People don't actually wear it. And plus, this is, again, overly stylized, but at the same time, hyper realistic. Right? Even the globe here. Although I guess that is not that unusual to have a globe, but Great Britain, Spain, Scandinavia, Denmark. I mean, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Ah, welcome, Stan. Do you actually remember that much of your Latin, or did you look it up? Because my Latin is too far gone. I mean, except for this, the Mari, that, but these other words, I have no idea. But welcome. We actually have someone that knows art in the house. Here is where we start edging into a different territory. You'll start seeing more fantastical elements in the drawings, mythological creatures of pleasure, satyrs mostly, satyrs, fawns. Again, it's a beautiful picture. Scanned from the inside of a book. You can see here that that's the glue on the end pages. Ah, you looked it up. Yeah, if I wasn't trying to keep this moving, I would have looked it up. But I think I've already bored people enough with my very, very ill-prepared talk about the Decadent Movement. As always, ran out of time. Uh-oh. And I should not have shared the whole screen either. Anyhow, this is, again, very hyper illustrated. We have something else that's in his art a lot, musicians. But again, goes with the territory of, goes with the general genre. So got a guitar, got it framed because again it is, let's zoom that back out. This is from the library of what does that say? The library of the Baroness Madamassy Beck. Madamassy Beck. Yeah. So again, commissioned. But let's zoom in again because look at the house. There's actually, and again, these drawings were much smaller than anything we're looking at when they were in the books. Another building down here. So yeah, we got a little fawn wants to jam with her, I guess. That's something else too. I look at, maybe it's just me, but almost every one of these drawings, I look at it and a story sort of pops into my head, or the beginning of a story. And that's another reason why I like this guy's art, and maybe this whole period and this whole genre. But yeah. And here's another woman artist in the drawing. Something else that he does a lot is So she's got a hammer and a chisel. So, you know, here we go. The character probably made this for us. How nice. We got detailed flowers. Little hint, you know, sort of titles on the books. The rose bushes stretched over the guy on the memorial's face. Dr. Otto Kahn is the where this library came from. Something else you'll see a lot in these are owls. Again, that symbolism, even a dim person like me remembers that owls are wisdom and intelligence. So given that these were ex-libris drawings, you would expect there to be plenty of owls. So yeah. This one don't really have much of a, it didn't, at least I said, hey, stories come to mind when I see these. Well, this one not so much, but again, a beautiful drawing. And as I said at the beginning, this guy did 2,000 of these. Well, 2,000 known drawings that he did. So maybe not 2,000 of these, but a lot of these. There are hundreds of his illustrations at the Museum of Applied Arts that they have scanned. And here we have more music. I'm not sure if this is was intended to be probably was intended to be an ex-libris, but this looks more like a sketch than a finished piece. So and particularly since there's no kind of inscriptions or anything on it, and these are barely sketched in. So I think this was probably a sketch. But even his sketches are just amazing. If I'm right, you know, could be. But yeah, my assumption is this is not quite finished. I could be wrong though. We got a troll of some sort here. Elaborate sculpturing. And yeah, I'm going to go with a sketch. And now we're getting into the next phase of this. This is where we are leaving the just beautiful drawings with a touch of with just a touch of fantasy elements or mythological elements in them, into things a little more fantastic, a little more outlandish. There will be some nudity showing up. Not in this one though. This one is just kind of odd. We got so we have monkeys. So whoever did this must have liked monkeys, or whoever commissioned this. Oh, for God's sakes. You know what? I may have to kind of try to reset, because now work wants me to sign in and I don't want to sign in. So let me see if I can fix this so we don't have that interrupting us over and over. But yes, monkeys. So there are monkeys in this drawing. And there's a particularly fascinating monkey in the main illustration, which I will get to once I reset here. Oh, hello, Dan. I'm going to be teching for a moment, so Yeah, Surrender Monkey should come by because he missed the. Speaking of monkeys, he missed the bit that was pretty much geared toward him 100% the other night, the monkeypox segment. But this one, yeah, he would. I think he would appreciate this. Let's see, share screen. Share window. Here we go. Hopefully this will do the trick. All right. Let's see if this will. Yep, okay. I think this will do. Yeah, solves the problem. How are you doing, Dan? Hope you're having a good night. And I will be amused beyond words if you get Colin to come on your panel some night over on Welsh News Network. Anyhow, actually, again, just the details here painted on the wall of this room, we have a monkey riding a turtle. Again, I'm sure it means something. We even have little figures drawn on this clock. But this is where the most amusing monkey can be found. No, she's wearing a really elaborate wig. One of those 17th century or 18th century giant wigs that, around when this was actually taking place. I don't think people were wearing those anymore, but yeah, it's a giant wig. Looks a bit like an octopus, though. You are correct. It's like Masamune Shirow drew this wig. Those little octopuses he would draw on the margins. But yeah, so we have this weird mask. She got her arm through the eye and out the mouth, and here's a monkey in a judge's wig. So I'm sure there's meaning beyond just it being strange, but there's monkeys everywhere in the frame. So more monkeys down here. But this was the key monkey right here. So yes, more intelligent people than I probably know what this picture means. But let's see, what is that bird? An owl or a griffin, or what is that? Just a, can't tell. Hey Liz, there are a few monkeys tonight, but not many monkeys. Just but there is this monkey here. Trying to interpret what this means. And monkeys on a plate? No, they're monkeys sitting on a book down here. So don't know. So yeah. And welcome, Liz. Appreciate. Judge Monkey says order in the court. Yeah. He looks very relaxed, though, Judge Monkey. That expression on his face. Or if we're going to go creepy monkey, he's saying, hey, baby. Well, plus she's definitely falling out of her dress. So, yeah, who knows? Was that a tree branch? Was a tree branch a deer's head? Let's see. I don't know. Let's take a look. Let me first zoom the right thing. Teching is hard. Tree branch. I don't know. Don't see the tree branch. He's sniffing. He's sniffing something strange. Yeah, that could be her perfume, or something even stranger. All right. So here we're back to the two musicians, and just like the bit with the artists get all the chicks, I think is the general gist of a lot of these. Because again, this lady here is falling out of her clothes, and there's a musician here playing, but he looks very serious, very into his music. They're sitting on a memorial here, so this might actually be, again, had been commissioned for books in the memory of somebody. Although it's just another ex-libris. Oh, Star David down here, sort of. So Zygmunt Sterzel. Should we look him up and see if he? Yeah, well, there are things that you can see in these pictures. Stan saw an octopus in the wig, but just again the details. And we have Mercury here in his guise as the patron of medicine and doctors. So looks like a fountain. Could be, actually. Let's see. Maybe you're right. Yeah, could be. Could be a fountain or a big elaborate tombstone. But yeah, again, just the level of detail just is mind-boggling to me, at least. Let's see. This guy, as he left a historical footprint. Zygmunt Sterzel. Nope. Just in the sense that he commissioned an ex-libris. Sturgis Antiques actually had this for sale, apparently. Whoever they are. Huh. Oh, hello, ZXL. Here for another me blathering about art, and hopefully people are entertained, or at least curious, and appreciate it as much as I do. But yeah, again, just weird details, a lot of details. Little. But yeah, this guy's expression when he's playing his violin. Maybe artists get the chicks, but they don't notice them. Or maybe violinists were the guitar players of the late 19th century. And, women's clothing just fell off when they pulled out the violin. So like lead singers in rock bands and guitarists in the 60s. And here we have another illustration. Could be an ex-libris, although I don't think so. Although this here could be. But yeah, he did do commercial art, so it could be from some other thing. I know this one wasn't in the. Oh wait, it was in the ex-libris section. Actually, no, it was not. This was in the. Was labeled as occasional art. So drawn for some purpose. But yeah, here we have a lady unpacking her suitcase or trying on dresses. They're probably trying on dresses. You got a flying little butler here showing her a mirror of herself, or showing what she looks like in the mirror. And yes, indeed, she is looking in the mirror, admiring herself. And, well, maybe it's a hat that she's admiring. But well, later on she did. Or when she turned over a new leaf, she did. But yeah. Oh, this guy isn't wearing pants. He's wearing a shirt and a jacket, but no pants. Okay. And she's barely wearing her dress. These all, well, this one I'm not entirely sure about, but the majority of these illustrations date from between roughly 1908 and 1910. So sometime in the first decade of the 20th century is pretty much where I think all these drawings date from. Although they could conceivably be at the very end of the, in the 1890s or at the very end, but I'm pretty sure all from the second half of that first decade. So from 1904 to 1910, somewhere in that range, 1905. But early 20th century. But yeah, the environment is very much, look of it is very much 18th century and earlier. It's the fashions of some of these ladies. But we'll get to it being Roman actually in a bit here too. But again, I'm just astonished at the level of detail. He even went and detailed the screen in the back here. Little flourishes on that. I mean, especially since your attention is not supposed to be focused on that. I mean, yes, EXL. You sure did. I think you have worse taste than I do. My God. What do you mean a 3-year-old with a broken crayon? I'm insulted on behalf of Franz here. But yeah. And here's one that, again, I must have had meaning for the person who commissioned it. I have absolutely no clue what's going on. Although, zooming in, I just noticed something that I hadn't noticed. So you've got this lady here, or man, hard to tell, some sort of Oriental persuasion with his, or Turkish persuasion with his giant hat. Yes, kid, I am looking at pretty pictures. What do you want? And then this girl leaning over the table has a book hidden underneath this pillow and blanket here. And kind of looking, this is again just this level of detail that you probably can't even really see when you're looking at the original drawing as it is in the paste into the book. But the way he drew her eyes, she's kind of looking over her shoulder, keeping this book out of view from whoever this person is. And again, the background, just here's these tall candles that he had in the other drawing. That's something that he must like to do. So, and pillow on the floor. And there's a Latin here again. People could, educated people could read it. But I forget. Oh, no, this is not Latin. This is French, I think. Okay. My French is also totally gone. Plus, I have no idea. But this is this is an ex-libris. Or ex-libris. So it had meaning, I'm sure, to whoever commissioned this. But yeah, she's hiding the book underneath these pillows. So, yeah. And this is another one where again, you've got some sort of religious or divine figure and a workman with his hammer. And the snake can be either, sign of medicine or something else. But, oh, I see what he's doing. Again, zooming in, there are things that I didn't even notice looking at this originally. This guy is engraving this tablet here. Although that's the 10 Commandments on that tablet. So, yeah. Or he's about to smash it with his hammer. That could be it. He's not engraving it, because he actually can't be engraving it because he has a hammer. He's holding on to this lady's arm. She's got a halo. So she's clearly some sort of divine figure or holy figure. Plus she's covering up, so yeah, there you go. She So this snake must be the temptation or the evil snake in the garden. You got Cupid down here. Someone far more intelligent is going to come along and look at this and say, you are an idiot, Mr. Miller. But yes, this was commissioned by a doctor. Doctor of what? Who the heck knows? But Cornell, Fenyer Cornell. So this is very much definitely an ex-libris. Again, mind-blowing detail. And here is, I'm pretty sure this would have been a memorial commission. And here's a fountain. In the previous one or in this one? Yeah, that is an anvil. You are right, Stan. I did not notice that until just now. So focused on what's going on down here that I failed to notice the anvil. Well, let's see if we can, if this guy left a footprint in general world history. Fenyo Cornell. Nope. Only at the Museum of Applied Arts, their database, because this this item is in their collection. It was French. And if this okay. So yeah, here we have a fountain. And someone is drinking from the fountain while this guy over here is being fed by the bird or kissing the bird. That is actually something else that shows up in a lot of these. Everybody remembers the story of Zeus and turning into a swan and making babies. That was Zeus, I believe, right? Yeah, it was Zeus. I'm not confusing. Leda. You've got swans in a number of these pictures. You've got yeah. So I don't know if this is a swan or a buzzard or what this bird is supposed to be, but when I first read that story as a kid or read that story, I thought it was very weird. And that's an eagle, not a swan. And the guy is just kind of sitting there nuzzling the eagle, or the eagle is nuzzling him. Don't know what's going on there. And of course, this also could be this guy's N. Hein, whoever that was, from his library, who steal his books, and there'll be a picture of him. His face will be right there reminding you to return his damn books. So, font of knowledge? Maybe. Maybe it's a reference to a... Okay, the guy actually has the eagle sitting on his arm, so... and he was lucky enough to actually put some, fabric there, so the eagle doesn't tear his arm off. So that's nice and logical. So there's music here at the bottom of some sort. That's something else that I've noticed on several of these. There's little bits of music, and I do not read music at all. Never have. So I've forgotten my Latin, forgotten my French, forgotten most of my German. But music, I never knew how to read. I could find middle C on a keyboard. That's the extent of my musical education. What is this? What's this that girl has put down? I don't know. Girl, boy, not sure. Again, nice piece. And this is probably one of the more unfortunate characters in this collection of art. It is an ex-libris. It is from the library, Margot Luknecht, 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 Luknecht. And we got a penguin and a girl in no clothes sitting on presumably a block of ice. So she's either very hot or global warming was even worse in 1910 than it is today. Or she's at the zoo. But yeah, her birthday suit and that penguin do not quite no, I have no idea what that website is. I can take a look at it. Let's see. Okay, can I get to my YouTube page? My channel. And live. My channel. And let me turn down the volume so you don't hear me echo into infinity. Let's scroll down, get to the link. That was posted. And let's click on that. Oh, okay. No, I had no idea that this website was out there. And someone has already done what I want and what I intend to do with this ILO, which is clean it up. All right. Well, if I'd known that, I would have just gone and grabbed from these people. But no, I did not know. And I got these from the there's a link below from where I got these from. And all right, so yeah, person's already gone and plundered and then cleaned them up. So I did not know that, because I just recently discovered the museum and was so enamored with this art that I thought I'd share it. Looks like some Russian already did. So no, I'm not on that website. Yeah, they're probably all on it. So, oh well. I thought this was a neat project, but apparently not. Someone's already plundered it and cleaned up the illustrations. All right, well, that's good to know at least. So thanks for pointing that out. But yeah, I grabbed them from the Museum of Applied Arts in Budapest, which is linked below. All right, let's see. So yes, this poor girl and the penguin. Feel very sorry for her. But there are much as now, and I still don't know what that means. I'll have to go look that up. But now that I have that link, and there's actually a much better place to go look at these things. You don't need me to blather on. So yeah, I'll just go to the next stage in this, and I will clean them up, and then I don't know what I'll do with them after that. But anyhow, So yeah, I'd recommend going to that site if they have pulled out these artists and already sort of categorized them. And as I said, made the art uh, uh, cleaner and more distinct. So, well, I got another half hour of before I have to wrap this up. Anything on anybody's mind that they want to talk about? Anything anything interesting going on? If Dan is still lurking, is there anything that is on your mind? Oh, look at this girl's toes. How many toes does she have? One, two, three. Oh, I guess there's 5 toes. 3, 4. Well, 6 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 toes. Well, that's what happens when siblings breed, I guess. Still, amazing detail. Even without it being retouched and cleaned up. But yeah. Well, guess we'll find out what Google Lens is. Google Lens, search what you see. Google Lens currently supports English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese. Well, okay. Search what you see. Use your camera or an image search. Go to Google Lens. Scan to get the app. Okay, so I guess I need a smartphone, which is recharging in the other room. So I will not be trying Google Lens at the moment. Maybe some other time. You have no laundry to send out. Well, this girl has no laundry to send out either. Nor did the one with the penguin. Wait, did they even? That can't be. Let me go back to that website, because are they even in the same order that I? No, that can't be. No, they're not. It's just coincidence. But yeah, all these pictures that they have. Oh, they actually have one that that I couldn't find. Interesting. I had the sketch for one of these, but not the final, which they have on this site. So that's probably a better place to look, all things considered. Okay, interesting. Yeah, yeah, I do most of this on a desktop though. So, but yeah, this is celebrating Leonardo da Vinci. E.K. Weigel commissioned it. There's Leonardo. The humor. Whoa, what the hell? The humor challenged in me says he's eating Chinese food. He's got chopsticks. I know they're not chopsticks. What is that? What is that guy dangling? I do not know. First thought they might be watches, but when I get close like this, they're not. So, not know what that is or what those are. But this poor guy is all tangled up in thorns. But again, he has no laundry to send out either. So, yay, good for him. All right, so well, let's flip through these. We have another fawn. Actually, that's not a fawn. That's just a guy. Because he's got real feet. So it's the guy playing the pan flute. So the haunting tones of Zamfir. And again, no one's wearing any clothes. Another one I like the composition on. Even if this is one where well, I don't know. Until I zoomed in, thought this was a swan, but maybe it's not. But yeah, this girl is holding a fistful of lightning. Pushing this bird away. Maybe it's a buzzard. And then we've got this guy. Could be Oscar Newhart. Could be someone Oscar Newhart was. Again, put your face in your books, and people that don't return them will be guilty every time they open it. So just a lot of detail. A lot of detail. All right. Well, this is another one that I find intriguing. Actually, yeah. Could be a relative. Moved to the States, anglicized their name. let's see. But yeah. Let's see, Bob Newhart. What's his background? King of Promise, 1960. His parents were Julia Pauline, and his dad was George David Newhart. His father, well, let's see. The original name for the father's side was Neuhardt. German for Newhart, pretty much. Neu and hot. So Neuhardt. But it's without a D. So alas. But that does look like Bob Newhart. I do agree with you. Interesting. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't just block somebody. I clicked on the YouTube screen accidentally because I couldn't see it until I cleared the other thing. Sorry if I blocked somebody. Email me. I'll unblock you. But yes. So maybe this is a muse. This is Bob's muse, I guess, and inspiration strikes like a lightning bolt. Maybe that's what's going on here, and keeping this buzzard at bay from eating his good ideas. That's my interpretation of this this particular piece of art, for what it's worth, which is not a lot, my opinion. The art is probably worth quite a bit if you have the original. Let's see. But anyhow, as I was about to say, this is another kind of interesting piece. Might be some sort of mythological tale, might not be, I don't know, but you have a mounted warrior with his sword here. You've got this poor skinny lady down here who looks like she is about to be in a world of hurt. And I wonder if this is supposed to be a Turkish warrior or something. I mean, I'm looking at the crescent moon here. Maybe I'm reading too much into the details, but yeah, got a crescent moon. Got that here as well, so that's repeated in this horse's ornamentation, and on the guy's helmet too. So we got this on the shield. So, but it was commissioned by Paul Diamanti. Is he known? Paul Diamanti. No. Nobody from 1910 shows up. Okay. Well, so again, something that probably had meaning for whoever commissioned it, or it relates to a story that I'm either forgetting or was never familiar with. Although, looks like, actually, so this must be, this is water, and these are pearls because she's holding up a pearl here in her hand. And she's got pearls in her hair. So yeah, maybe it's some representation of a fairy tale or legend or something that I'm just not familiar with. But love the picture. Well, I think that, so yeah, now we're edging into the area where it starts getting a little more risque. So, and it is 1:15, so I think I'm not going to wrap this up here. I hope you guys were entertained. Hope you guys liked the illustrations. And like I said, that site, that ZXL Master, actually has many of these images in better quality than these are so far. And I will not have better quality of these images for a very long time because there's a lot of them. I grabbed my favorites. But yeah, so Walter Schiller here. Again, it's an ex-libris. Yeah, I can't quite tell whether she's supposed to be topless or if she's wearing a shirt. Like I said, this is where we start getting into the more risque stuff. Oh, this one here, I'll wrap up. I'll end this on one that I absolutely I love this picture so much. Some guy named Oswald Motog commissioned it for his books. Let's see if he is around on the web, if he is famous. Nope. Again, some antique dealers are selling the original, or sold the original art for this. Anyhow, this is one of my favorites from this particular artist, just because of the situation that's portrayed here. So down here we have a guy that mountain climber, climbed all the way up to the top of the mountain. And let's see what that saying is there, if I'm right about what it means. Okay, it must mean something else because it's what I thought. It's a hang on, it's a record label, but it, okay, later. Oh, of course, sooner or later. So he climbed up the mountain sooner, yeah, sooner or later. That's what that means. Don't even, but yeah, I knew the record label. Am I right? Does that mean sooner or later to somebody? If someone's French, still better than mine? Google Translate, I can bring that up, I guess. I'm going to say it's sooner or later because I love the fact this guy climbed up the mountain. And there's already this girl up here. No shoes, robe falling off. Again, I think, can't quite tell if she's supposed to be topless or not. I think she is. But yeah, so he gets up to the top of the mountain, or maybe, well, pretty sure what the meaning is supposed to be, but I looked at this and I took it very literally, and it made me laugh. But again, it's a gorgeous piece of art, however you want to take it. Wonder if Oswald Motok was a mountain climber, or whether it's just there's some other metaphorical meaning going on here. But yeah, I'm being goofy, but this picture brought out the goofy in me. Okay, well, on that note, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for whoever came out. As I said, hopefully you were entertained. And that's really it. As always, I don't know when I'll be doing this again, or if I'll be doing anything again. One thing I do need to do is do a little video for YouTube, because I got one of those wonderful your channel sucks messages, and I was toying with the idea. I had actually a couple of ideas for what I thought were some neat little stickers, and okay, I could do a little store, and if people want the stickers, they can get them from that little store. But I can't have a little store now, because YouTube decided that, as I said, my channel sucks, and they took away that limited monetization thing that they gave me a couple months ago. So if any one of you are still there that have a membership, I apologize. They're suspended right now. If you want me to try to figure out how to refund, YouTube did send me instructions for that. So drop me a private message, or drop me an email, or something, and I'll give you back your $3 or however much it was it cost you. Or rather, YouTube will give you back your $3, because I haven't gotten anything. And I won't. But anyhow, I need to record a video, because I'm pretty sure what happened is an automated system looked at things and decided the channel sucks. Although maybe it's live streams like this that also made them decide that the channel sucks. But if no one has anything else to add, or if there's even anybody out there anymore, that's it. Last call for anyone that wants to plug anything that they have coming up. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you around. Have a good evening. Or a good morning, rather, I guess. Whatever it is where you are in the world.